Okay, number 18 is another one where we're solving a system of two equations. So the last problem I did substitution method. Now we're going to do it by elimination. Now, if you're going to do it by elimination, the most important thing is you have to make sure the variables line up with each other. Now, even though I got the x's and the y's are lined up here, the equal sign is not. So instead, what I'm going to do is the first equation, I'm just going to leave that the way it is. And I'm going to take the second equation, and what I'm going to do is add this across the equal sign. So if I move this across the equal sign, it's going to become positive. So I just did that first step just to make sure everything is lined up. So all I did again, I just added 7y to both sides, and that's why it's plus over here. I got the equal signs are lined up, the variables are lined up. Now I'm ready to do elimination. The reason why I choose to do elimination on this one is because there's no variable that's by itself. So if I were to do this by substitution, no matter what, I would end up having fractions because I'd have to divide by whatever number is in front of the x. So that's why if you see numbers in front, it's probably better to do it by elimination in order to avoid fractions. Okay, so what I need to do is choose to eliminate one of the variables. I can eliminate either the x's or the y's, it doesn't matter. Now on the key that I provided here, what I did was I chose to eliminate the x's, and I solved it that way. Now let me show you instead. I'm going to go ahead and do it by eliminating the y's. Now, if you're going to eliminate the y's, okay, I want to look for the smallest number that both 5 and 7 that divide into evenly. So that number is going to end up being 35. I want one of these to be positive 35 and one of them negative 35. So when I add it together, I'll get the y terms to cancel out. Now I already have a plus minus sign difference there, so that's already taken care of it for us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the first equation by 7 and the second equation by y. The reason why I'm doing that is because then I'm going to get negative 35 here, positive 35 down below, and then I'll be able to cancel those out. Now the most important thing to remember when you're doing these is the 7 needs to be multiplied by everything on the inside. Okay, so not just the first numbers, you have to also remember to multiply after the equal sign. Okay, so we're going to do 21x minus 35y, and then I'm going to do 21 times 7 just like this, and when I multiply that, I'm going to get 147. So I get equals 147. Next, I'm going to take everything times 5. So I have negative 20x plus 35y is an equal. All right, we're going to do, I know my answer is going to be negative there, but I'll do 29 times 5. Okay, so this is going to be 45. 10 add the 4, 14, so I get 145. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this and I'm going to add the two equations together. What you'll see happening is you get 21x minus 20, I just get x by itself. These drop out. 147 minus 145, I get 2. So that's my first answer, x is equal to 2. So let me put that on the answer line here. X is 2 is the first answer. Now I gotta find the y value. You find the y value by putting it back into either one of those two equations, doesn't matter. I'll just use the first one. So I'm going to do 3 times 2 minus 5y equals 21. Again, I'm replacing the x with 2 because that's the first equation I found. I want to solve for y now. 6 minus 5y equals 21. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and when I do, I get 15. The last thing I'm going to do, divide both sides by negative 5, and I get y is equal to negative 3. So notice I get exactly the same answer as the one I did in the key, the sample key. So it doesn't matter if you choose to eliminate the x's first or the y's first, you'll just find either x or y answer first. So I found the answers in a different order, but again the answers were the same.